What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy AshTheMan. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we are here to talk about that Sword Art Online Alicization World of the Underworld Episode 9, Sword and Fist. Now, with the last episode that happened, when Alice went crazy on the battlefield for her underling, Idradi, kind of like hit the dust, but we got a chance to see what kind of strategy they want to hit with the Dark Territory. And again, they want to make sure that the main unit is focused on them while they kind of like break down each of the factions of the Dark Territory. Like, I think one of the first ones that are up is, the Fish Unit. That's what I'm gonna call them, the Fish Unit. Now, apparently their bodies is supposed to be able to reflect swords. Now, Knight Shanti, which she is the Synthesis 12, she takes to the battlefield and starts to go crazy on them. And I mean, not saying like she just went berserk, but it's like she is so emotionless. She haven't really found that drive to really like get excited about fight. If she has to do it, she has to do it pretty much how it is. And her blade is so thin that it just like kind of like just pierce the skin. And what I mean is thin, it's kind of like flimsy. Like when you see that the main guy from the Muck unit pretty much sent his underling to fight her because they said one night you seen that she was able to take her whole arm off, which is like one slash. When they seen it, they was like, yo, that she dangerous. So then she was just like taking guys out left and right, and then the main monk and her had sort of a good bout. Like, he was able to break off her arm and she was able to get cuts and everything on him, saying that I guess when he attacks, his actual body gets soft and his arms stay hurt. So she figured out the strategy, but she still wanted to go at the arms. I think she's kind of like getting that pettiness inside of her, so she actually developing a certain kind of emotion, but ended up retreating from the battle because the main unit was catching up to the Monk unit and she didn't want to be overwhelmed. So she kind of flew for the battle to pick up where things left off maybe the previous day. Now you get to see Gabriel's right hand man kind of take to the field of in the forest with taking guys out from the supply unit, and he had his next kind of surrounded. Kirito proteges was getting their hands handed to him. Now the strategy in this point, since they was able to break past the surprise attack, is that the Barclay, he's pretty much is going to stay back to kind of defend the unit off while Alice go to support him, and the other knight is pretty much just going to retreat back. Now, when this all happening, we got a chance to see a special someone hit the battlefield finally, and that was Asuna. Oh, baby Asuna. She finally hit the battlefield and was able to give them the support that they was able to need to being able to survive, and which she pretty much just created a hole in the ground, killed off his troops who put a hole in the ground to kind of drop him down, which I'm pretty sure he's not dead. He's a survivalist. He's part of the army, so I'm pretty sure he probably gonna use the knights and probably crawl out unseen. And then she created some type of light boarding, so I guess the enemies can't come and attack her. Probably will have them regroup and being able to form a different strategy once she hits on there. I'm pretty sure her interaction with Kirito kind of spark things up and kind of going in the next few episodes. I would say around episode 14, maybe we can see Kirito kind of come back. So that's definitely interesting. Now, one thing I will say about this is that I wish the Dark Territory generals was a little bit more stronger and a little bit more devious, because the thing is that if you've been watching the episodes ever since this started with, I believe, episode 5, we haven't I'm not saying that the generals haven't been trying to do anything, because one of the knights was definitely in trouble when there was a flux error that was going on. So that was definitely interesting to see that he kind of was giving her a little bit of a trouble, but they really haven't been too much of a problem. They've been getting bested, from left to right, and bested really bad. So hopefully, as things starting to wind down and Asuna making an appearance, we actually get to see more of what the territory has to offer with their knights. But other than that, it was a pretty good episode. I can't, complain about it. too much. So yeah, but other than that, I just want to thank you guys for definitely tuning in this week for Sword Art Alicization World of the Underworld. Leave a comment below and tell me how you thought about the episode. Hit it with a thumbs up. I would like you, if you guys subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button. Other than that, AshTheMan is out. Peace.